Today on CityCast Madison. What do palm fronds, ash X's on foreheads, and fish bring up for you? The smell of a Friday night fish fry? No way! Me too! No matter your religious leaning, we've entered the Christian season of Lent. And in a city like ours, with dive bars and fried food everywhere, you better believe that there will be some extra oomph this month to Friday night fish fry game. But who's got the best? It's Thursday, March 2nd. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. The whole gang's here, full team. We got Molly Stentz and Bill and Brogan, Bilbo Baggins, Dylan Drogan, Dylan Drugs, Dylan Brogan. We're all here together to talk about a huge food phenomena that kind of forgot about, and then I feel like I've smelt it recently, which is fish fries. It's a big deal, right?
I know it's a big deal. I've heard about it.
I want you to come join me for a fish fry, and I feel like they've got to be all over this city.
The thing about Friday fish fries, though, I guess one of the things for me is the smell. Like, I love the aroma of walking into a restaurant and just feeling transported by the delicious smells. And I just don't like the smell of fish. Like, is that a part of it for you?
I think fish stank is pretty unanimously unliked.
And I like the smell of the ocean. That's pretty fishy.
I just realized that the other day at the Old Fashioned, I'm like, oh my gosh, Friday fish fry. And it's also the season of Lent, which makes sense. So like all of these associations that I totally forgot about are happening right now. You guys know that, right? Fish fries are connected with Lent.
Every day is meat-free day in my house. Just saying.
I don't know why, Dylan. I just associate you with Catholicism, even though I know you know.
Well, both my parents attended Catholic school basically their entire lives. So I come from Catholic families, but they didn't tell me anything about God, including the Catholic one.
Well, that's kind of the thing for me, right?
The guilt.
The Catholic guilt. I wasn't brought up Catholic, and I'm not religious now about, religions, but I am religious about food. And I have been reading and studying about ritual because I miss different rituals. Like, it really helps anchor you in something. And I feel like I hear that fish fries are going strong here, and it's something where you can go and like hang out and be in community.
So I have this suggestion, for a ritual, which is listen to CityCast Madison on Thursdays, where we talk about food. Because I don't know, dear listeners, if you have picked up on this theme that we're doing, which is that every Thursday we are introducing you to your neighbors who are involved in this vast food ecosystem that we have going on. These amazing chefs and farmers and cheesemakers and bakers and everyone that's involved in bringing us deliciousness. We want to talk to them. And so we're doing that every Thursday here on CityCast Madison.
Well, you don't eat fish. I don't like fish. Bianca's got to talk to somebody to tell us about fish fries.
Agreed. You guys really, you really left me in the lurch on this.
Well, I have a make good. Somebody, a dear former colleague of mine. Believe it or not, I worked for a newspaper, Isthmus newspaper, for a while. I was originally hired to cover the food scene, which is pretty funny because I don't really like food generally.
How did this happen?
I think I did an okay job. And you know how I know? Because my editor, the longtime food and features and way more than that, associate editor now of Isthmus is Linda Falkenstein, and she's absolutely wonderful. And I know she's lived in Madison her entire life, and her dad had a real affinity for trying out fish fries, so she sort of caught the bug.
Okay.
She takes her food news very seriously, though. I want to warn you.
Well, let's hear from her.
She'll give you some good picks, I think. I know she will. She's written about this forever, and I know she has a personal interest, too.
Okay, good. Because I want someone who, who's legit. I love you guys, but also, let's hear from Linda. Linda, hello.
Hi, Bianca. Good morning. How are you?
Pretty darn good. We asked you for a few local fish fry recommendations, and your first pick is Quivy's Grove in Fitchburg. Tell us about that one.
It's a very classic Wisconsin preparation. The fish is cod, but it's an absolute textbook, crispy beer batter on it. Good coleslaw. I picked Quivies for absolute sort of across the board classic quality.
Okay. And with the coleslaw, that's just such a, classic pairing. It's the whole experience. One of your recommendations is the Old Fashioned's fish fry.
They have a choice. You can get walleye or cod or perch, I believe. I shy away from cod. I think it's a bland fish.
Fair.
I would pick walleye or perch. Appropriate, I think that a restaurant like the Old Fashioned that's devoted to Wisconsin dining has that featured in a kind of marquee spot. So, hey, if you're visiting Madison and you're not here on a Friday, you can still get the experience.
Yeah, so they're doing it every day now. That's pretty special. I was actually in the Old Fashioned for the first time in a long time recently, and you could just smell it. It's just there. Your third pick is Athens Grill in Westport. What's special there?
To me, it is the perch that is what I would want to get, and it has a kind of a slightly spicy batter. Might have a little bit of cornmeal in the beer batter. That was a pick for pure flavor, I would say.
Got it. The recommendation that most surprised me was Culver's. And I also love that. So I'm like, Culver's, love to see it. So really, that one made your list?
Culver's made it actually for their Lenten walleye special. Now you can walk into Culver's anywhere and get the cod any day, anytime. But what I love about Culver's, and I think this is probably the most Wisconsin thing ever, is that a fast food franchise offers a Lenten walleye dinner special. So they start it usually a few days or a week before Lent starts. It's every day. The walleye is incredible. They're like very large, tend to be very large pieces, fried perfectly. The rest of the sides are what you usually get at Culver's. The fries aren't special and it's the same coleslaw, but
I have a religious sort of connotation with the fries at Culver's. So.
Well, I would say they invariably every year run out of the walleye well before Lent is over. If you're interested, get it. Go now.
So it's pretty popular.
It is.
To me, one of the biggest things about the fish fry is really the batter. Is that what makes or breaks for you?
I'm not devoted to one kind of batter. Like there's crummier sort of panko, there's cornmeal, but there's the beer batter, which is, I think, probably what people think of when they think of a Wisconsin fish fry. I like it all. I think it's important. I don't think it's make or break. I think the fish flavor is also important, and people will have their preferences. I really love whitefish, which you tend to see north of here. You can find whitefish as the featured fish in Madison, but it tends to be harder to locate. Perch is a fish that has a real flavor. Walleye has a flavor. I mentioned before that I'm not as fond of cod because it's a bland fish, and it tends to be bigger chunks. Your ratio, I think your ratio of batter to the fish is also important to me.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Like there's too much cod, not enough batter. So I don't think it's just the batter. It's a beautiful trio of, fish, batter, and the ratio.
The ratio is important. Just in making any sandwich for myself at home, I will be upset if I don't get it right. Oh, man. We're going to take a quick break. Be right back. I understand that your interest in fish fries runs even deeper than just covering the scene.
Probably my first memory of being taken to a restaurant by my parents is to a fish fry. It was pretty sure it was a kind of a tavern on 51 north of Madison somewhere. I know it's been torn down since, and big sort of dark leather booths. And I feel like the fish predominantly when I was a kid served on Friday fish fries in Wisconsin was perch, and perch can be very fishy, and I didn't like it. But when I got to be an adult, that sort of pull, like, it's Friday, what should we do? hungry. What should we do? Oh, what about a fish fry? Started to be more appealing.
I'm reading a book right now about ritual, and it's something that a lot of people, as our society is becoming more secular, or even people who are identify with the religion, maybe might be spending less time at church. I kind of connect fish fries with church personally, probably because that was something that happened at St. Joe's, just right next to us. But the power of ritual is huge. And I feel like that's kind of what you're talking about is like, it's Friday. What do I smell in the air? It's time for fish fry.
I suppose those kind of comfort rituals do keep us going in good times and bad.
And all you can eat fish fries used to be pretty common. Is that still true?
I think you have to look a lot harder to find them. It's not that they don't exist. Or a place might have, an option of the regular fish fry and you can pay a few dollars more for the all you can eat. Probably, generally speaking, you should not be eating that much fried fish. Overeating is a Wisconsin tradition, but as well. But
yes,
2 fillets, your potato, the coleslaw is probably okay. Go get some ice cream on the way home if you're still hungry.
Don't overdo it, y'all. You talked a little bit about it, but, you've written about different trends and how Madison's restaurant does fish fries. How have fish fries evolved in recent years?
Often a place will have at least a choice between 2 different kinds of fish. Some places have 4 or 5 different kinds of fish. You can get a baked if you don't want that fried. Costs have definitely gone up, as with everything. And I think maybe the number of pieces that you might be getting for that price in some places are going down. But that's not the fish fry's fault. That's kind of across the board happening right now.
I'm still thinking about the Culver's fish fry. I have to admit, that's where I actually do sometimes get my fish fry. So this conversation is giving me some places to go check out.
Part of the ritual is for many people the kind of scene that the fish fry is set in, dark bar, spending 45 minutes to an hour hanging out in the bar with an brandy old fashioned, waiting for your table, socializing with the people that you're with. And that is great if that's what you're looking for. But if you need food fast on a Friday, maybe Culver's is where you should go.
Yeah.
It depends. There's not a right way or a wrong way to do it. It's what you're looking for.
We just love our food here in Madison. We just love food.
People want different things from their fish fry. Never underestimate the importance of proximity. Maybe you're just going to go to the place that's closest to your house. And if that works for you, that's great.
So what's that spot for you? What's your go-to?
Well, I live sort of equidistant from a few places. Athens Grill is close to my house. I love Bridges Golf Course, also near my house. Slices, it's a bar over by the old Oscar Mayer. A place called Beef Butter Barbecue, Northport at Sherman, has a fish fry that they call, I think, Cod Almighty.
Oh, Cod Almighty! Free at
the Villa Tap. The Villa Tap is very popular, close to my house.
Well, I feel like this just begs for an adventure for someone that wants to systematically check out all the fish fries. They have some resources now after listening to this. Linda, thank you so much for joining us on CityCast Madison.
Sure, have a good day.
That was Linda Falkenstein, local fish fry connoisseur and associate editor at Isthmus. If you want to check out her recommendations, we'll post Linda's list in our show notes. And by the way, do you have a favorite fish fry locale? Any particular Friday night fish fries that blow your hair back? We want to know. Send us a message at our email, madison@citycast.fm. Or you can find us on our socials at CityCast Madison. Drop us a line. And here's what else Madison's talking about. The Wisconsin Supreme Court race is heating up. Here's the latest. Judge Janet Protasewicz said that she will recuse herself from any case regarding the Democratic Party because they donated millions to her campaign. This means she would not rule on any cases they bring to the court. Former Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly doesn't feel the same way. He said he would still rule on cases involving the Republican Party of Wisconsin, even though they helped run his campaign back in 2020 and donated to him. Kelly said he prefers to decide on a case-by-case basis. Thomas Jefferson Middle School has a new name. Starting this fall, it will be the Ezekiel Gillespie Middle School, named after a civil rights champion from Milwaukee who successfully sued the state of Wisconsin for the right to vote back in 1866. Very cool. And it's Working Draft Beer Company's 5th anniversary. And it happens to be their golden birthday, so they're throwing a party this Friday, March 3rd. The Eastside Brewery will be releasing new beers throughout the whole weekend and have live music from the duo Dearly Brewerly. Long live beer and pizza parties. That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend who loves to eat fried food in dive bars about us? Do you have any of those? We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Until then, love your neighbor, or at least be nice.
The guilt.